A very warm welcome to you from Miami International Autodrome. We are here for weekend number 3 of Ferrari Challenge North America. Coppa Shell race is coming up for you next. There is the Hard Rock Stadium, home of the Miami Dolphins. We had the Miami Dolphins cheerleaders on the grid earlier on today. If you missed it, you can go back and watch the stream from the Trofeo Pirelli race, which I have to say was interesting. There was lots of action in turn 1, let's put it that way. We've had lots of action so far this season already. Sonoma Raceway, the beautiful rolling countryside down in California, then up to Daytona International Speedway, just 2 hours north of here. Now Miami Autodrome 2 weeks after the Formula One, then Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Watkins Glen International Laguna Seca, and Mugello in October for Finale Mondiale. What a calendar. And it all kicked off, as saying Trofeo Pirelli earlier on today. Gloves were off. Welcome to Miami. Let's take a look at the track we are using here. It's very similar to the Formula One. That's all the same as Formula One. They go a little bit further down before coming back up. We cut it off with a slightly different route from turn 10 across to turn 15, which shortens the track a little bit. Still gives us a nice overtaking opportunity up at 17, although we saw some places being changed elsewhere on the circuit as well. Most of the action was down in turn 1. And there's a man who's had a bit of action already this weekend. That is actually your championship leader, Mitchell Green. If you've been watching the other rounds of the series, you'll know he's in a different car, and we'll tell you why in just a short moment. The track temperature is 42 Celsius. The air temperature is 32 Celsius. Didn't see too much in the way of tar deg in the last one. A couple of people seem to be struggling a little bit in some of the chicanes. My name's Andrew Coley. I've got with me a man who can much better explain what we thought was happening with the tyres. Tony Verlander is a GT racing legend. My Finnish friend, Tony. It's hot. They didn't struggle too badly. Kaminsky seemed to be struggling a bit in the chicane, but we don't know if that was settings or tyres.
Yeah, we saw some action regarding the safety car restart, so the rhythm of the actual 30-minute races was interrupted 2 times with the safety car during the Pirelli race. You could see some slow-speed corners that the cars and the drivers were struggling a bit. Also, the very high temperature is related into that. If we had some action with our Pirelli class, Pirelli and Pirelli Am, let's see what's going to happen with the Shell and Shell Am. We have a street circuit. We go 200 miles per hour. We have sometimes some optimism in the overtaking situation. So hopefully we get a clear run. We get 30 minutes of racing, and everybody's happy at the checker flag. Let's see.
We will see indeed. Somebody else who's down there on the grid and give us a bit of an update on how the atmosphere is for these drivers. Of course, they missed some of their session earlier, so they're on pretty new tyres. Some of those tyres won't even be scrubbed in. Nina J. Paul, what have you got from down there on the grid?
Hello. I must say the temperature feels a little bit cooler than it was for the Pirelli and Pirelli Am race. And what a pressure cooker race that was. I'm still trying to catch my breath. I'm sure the Shell guys were watching intently. The atmosphere is quite tense. Everyone kind of means business at the moment. We've got Mitchell Green and Gabe Harib on pole respectively. Let's see if they're able to convert it.
Thank you, Nina Jade. Covers are coming off the cars. You can see the foil being taken off the screens. Umbrellas away from doors. About to get these drivers underway for their reconnaissance lap. They can go take a look around, see what they think of the conditions for themselves. The breeze has definitely picked up a bit. That's Jeffrey Nürnberg, who had such a brilliant performance last time out, coming back from P18 or P19, I think it was. To get himself back into the hunt for the points. He was, ended up 3rd after not starting qualifying. Brilliant drive by him. They're heading out for their recce lap. Let's take a look at a high-speed one with Dylan Medler.
Hi guys, I'm Dylan Medler, driver number 15 of the Collections Ferrari 296 Challenge car. This is my home track, and I'm going to take you for a lap around Miami International Autodrome.
So here we are crossing the start-finish line. You're going to have your eyes up looking for turn 1, hard braking your bridge, down a few gears, you want to hit the apex. After that, your eyes look forward to the apex of 2, and then 3, you want to be as flat as possible here, carry as much speed. So now it's a long sweeping corner, so eyes up, and now you see the next corner, a light brush to the brakes, then attack the corner. And then these corners right here have a little mojo here, so if you mess one up, the next one's don't end up so good. But if you hit it perfectly, it's very sweet. You gain a lot of time. This corner is very demanding on the car as it likes to roll over since there's a lot of low on tires. But after that, you want to get a great exit. And here we are on the back straight. So here on the back straight, although it is a little curvy, you don't really have time to rest, but you're carrying a lot of speed in 6th gear. You want to do a light brush of the brakes here, carry speed through the wall, attack this apex, and then attack this next one and get a great exit as there's a little straight here. Now coming up to one of the toughest corners for me, you want to carry speed and not upset the car, hit the apex, and back to full throttle. And pretty much if you hit that apex correctly, you get a lot of speed down this main street, gain a lot of tenths. And then now to the last corner, you want to brake as deep as possible, but not upsetting the car. And look right towards the apex, hit the apex, and then back to power. And all the way up the gears to 6th gear. Try and not turn the steering wheel as much. And that is a lap around Miami International Autodrome.
Tony, when are we going for some laps? We're going to have to start. We need to drop some hints on air. We know this was a busy weekend. We couldn't do it. I'll sit with you. I'll trust you. I won't sit with everybody. I've spent a lot of time sitting with people in my past as a motorsport instructor, and I'm quite selective now. But I don't know. You seem like a calm guy.
Yeah, the basic rule is never trust ex-Finnish race car drivers.
Maybe not then, yeah?
Ex or current. Never trust.
Okay. Well, yeah, you just won a round of the Finnish karting championship, man. That's like going back to your roots. He's gone back 20 years and looks so much younger for it. But I'd love to sit with you. I mean, you were saying earlier on, these cars, let's not mess about. They are fast.
Yeah, really fast. Over 700 horsepower. On Dylan's lap, it's great to see how he's really preparing the car for the turns, very calm behind the wheel. Great demonstration how to do things with our 296 challenge car. Also love the sound from the turbos when you release the throttle and go back on throttle. And this track as well, a lot of sequence that you really need to hit your marks. If you lose the apex, then you lose the next corner straight away. Some areas remind me a little bit of Silverstone or even Suzuka, where you really need to have a good flow throughout the racetrack. So really demanding circuit, and we see drivers using a lot of curbs inside and outside just to gain that little bit more momentum throughout the corners.
I was struck by the subtle rolling off during turns 2 and 3, with just a little roll just to pull the car back in a little bit. It's tiny, but it's class.
Yeah, and you need to have the car pointing the right way and in the right place, and there you gain a little bit more margin and you can increase the speed. And a big difference with the GT cars compared to Formula 1 that we just saw a couple of weeks ago on this track is with the GT cars you can run and ride the curbs harder, you can use the track more, but at the same time you don't have the same sharpness of a single-seater, so you need to prepare your car a bit more to have an exact correct racing line, and it's very demanding first sector, even up to the turn 8 where you really need to be patient and go on throttle at the right time, and then you have a long back straight.
You're looking at Chuck Whittle with the fantastic chrome livery. If you're wondering, if you were watching earlier on, we had to abort the qualifying session, unfortunately, because it's such a busy day. They couldn't rerun it. The K-rail, the concrete wall, was moved after contact from one of our competitors, and so there wasn't time to do qualifying. So they've gridded the cars up according to championship points. Now, quite a fun moment up in hospitality earlier on. I was up there with Melissa Kozira, and one of her friends had heard me on the broadcast say, well, they'll probably do it off the championship points or yesterday's practice. So Melissa was like, I wish they'd done it off yesterday's practice, because not everybody went out in the final session yesterday, and she was fastest by 6:10. She was like, I would have been on pole, but she's still not that unhappy with P6 in Coppa Shell Am, and it was nice to see her earlier on. She was all smiles. I said to her, what are you going to do on lap 1? I said, if you're going to catch people napping, it's got to be lap 1. And she was like, be aggressive. Be aggressive. So let's see what she does. Let's head down to Nina Jade Paul on the grid.
I'm excited for this one, boys. Drivers, start your Ferrari engines.
There we go. Time to get underway already. There is that rumble. Tony mentioned it a moment ago. You just hear the turbos whistling as they spool up, and then the when they dump the excess pressure. I can do a good wastegate, I really can.
Yeah, what about the Florida Panthers?
Yeah, wow!
Yeah, there you go.
That was the Florida Panthers last night. It was brilliant. So much fun. It's a great. There's atmosphere here for sporting events. It's brilliant. I think I need to come back to the Hard Rock Stadium for an NFL game now, Tony. We need to complete the set, don't we? I've been to a hockey game. Oh, to hockey. A baseball game
I've been
before.
here once.
Have you?
It was a great experience.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not done NFL, so I've done NHL now. I've been to a baseball game before. Where were we for baseball? I can't remember. Somewhere a couple of years ago. But that was cool as well. But I enjoyed the pace of the hockey yesterday when everybody was on it. It was frantic. But NFL, yeah, I need to come for an NFL game here at the Miami Dolphins. Need some sort of a joint venture, don't they? Imagine an NFL game alongside an F1 Grand Prix. I mean, it would be gridlock, wouldn't it? It was gridlock last night, but Verlander made some moves, I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, in and out of the car park at the at the game last night. It was impressive to see. He still got it. Right. It is go time for Coppa Shell and Coppa Shell Am. Nina J. Paul doing her best flag-waving impression there.
Yeah, grid like this, like you mentioned, that opens some even more interesting racing, because it doesn't mean exactly that the car's in order of the pace on this racetrack, as we didn't have qualifying. And the starting grid, yeah, some of the drivers feel like they are starting further back than they should be, and the other drivers maybe feel a little bit of pressure being up front and lacking probably pace this weekend. So it will be an exciting mix for the race start.
They've seen that previous start too, so hopefully they'll have an idea that turn one is not the place to get it all done. Having said that, if you want to make a lot of moves, you want to make up a lot of places on this first lap, you are going to need to be decisive, so let's see. Okay, here we go then. Coppa Shell Race 1 from weekend number 3 at Ferrari Challenge North America. Here's your grid. On the front row, Mitchell Green and Jan Bernier. Green in a different car after he had a shunt himself earlier on in the week. Chuck Whittle and Brad Evans on row 2. On to row 3, Gary Otts had a brilliant week, been feeling really quick and confident. He wanted to be starting further up with John Lennon next to him. Brian Waltersdorf and John Viskup, 7th and 8th. On to row 5, Lisa Clark and Kevin Orsini. Row 6 is Roy Carroll and Joel Rolls. Osvaldo Gallo and Stephen Chen make up row 7. Then it's William Naranjo and Gabe Hrib. Michael Owens and Jeffrey Nunberg, row 9. Row 10, it's husband and wife pairing, Stephanie Herfield and Matthew Herfield. Then Melissa Kozira and Alberto Duran. Louis Flory, Fabian Spearman. Paul Lynn and Lance Corley. Row 14, Henry Hummel, Jeffrey Keel. Row 15, Danny Patel and David Williams. And row 16 is Helen Chu. I spoke to Danny Patel earlier on today. He's the great friend of Sebastian Mascaro, who only started his racing career last weekend for us in Daytona. And he got better and better through the course of the weekend. Said he was really frustrated when he span in the race, and bless him, said he watched the coverage back and he was so enthused by us saying what a great job we thought he'd done on his first ever race weekend. He was all smiles, which was lovely. It's part of the process. This is the earlier steps on the ladder, let's be honest. Pirelli, Trofeo Pirelli and Pirelli Am is the higher steps. Then you come down to Shell, Coppa Shell and Coppa Shell Am. Some of these drivers have been doing it for years and just do it for fun. Some of them want to work their way up through the various different series. At the front, Mitchell Green wants to get himself up into GT racing. So he's really serious about things, but he's got a serious competitor alongside him in Jan Bernier, and he can't count out the drivers behind him either. So Mitchell Green in the yellow car with the silver nose, Jan Bernier in the blue car with the orange nose, Chuck Whittle behind on the inside. When are they going to light it up? Holding off and waiting late. There's the green flag. On to race control. Oh, and it's a great start by Mitchell Green. And Chuck Whittle, I think, has managed to get the better of Jan Bernier there. So Jan Bernier drops immediately down into P3. Chuck Whittle in the chrome colour car just got a better start, assuming everybody got off the line as they were supposed to. Mitchell Green leads from Whittle and from Jan Bernier.
Yeah, Mitchell Green really hold the whole group together at slow speed, accelerated really late, and he was the one to gain a big margin once we went to green. So good start for him.
Yeah, really nicely done. They're streaming around the back part of this circuit. This would be a tricky place to learn. Oh, around the outside, looking for a move. Don't get out too far onto the dirty track. Pull the car back in along as the wall is very close over on the left. This is what you were talking about, the pace differential, where people have maybe had consistent results all year and someone might have retired once and has dropped back in the championship standings but is faster on track. But got to try and make passes early. We know the end of the straight is probably the safest place. The 189 there is John Visca, the blue-coloured car. You're looking at Bernier in behind Chuck Whittle there at the front of your picture. End of the straight. Mitchell Green still leading in the background, the pack close together. One thing that was funny was talking to Mitchell's driver coach, saying he thought it would be easy now. It was a yellow coloured car. Several people diving up the inside. Couldn't see if anybody got it done. But yeah, he was saying, I thought it'd be easy spotting Mitchell because he had a red coloured car before and it was pretty tough. He's like, it's a yellow one. He called out on the radio and he said 5 seconds later another yellow one ran underneath him and he realised, okay, there are more than I thought. 3 wide.
Let's see, there was some debris on track.
More close and over the curbs to avoid any contact. Keeping it together though. That's been a very the Shell driver's done a good job, very sensible first lap.
Yeah, we didn't see any major contacts. We just saw on the end of the opening lap one of the cars running over some debris on the main straight. Looked for a moment like a tire failure, but in the end it didn't. Just the pieces looked like a little bit of carbon fiber on track.
So Gabe Cribb you're looking at in the blue and black coloured car, who is leading with Duran behind. So they're P14 and P15 overall, but that's Coppa Shell Am. There is Alberto Duran down on the right hand side, all smiles in his little graphic. I'm sure he's all smiles in the car as well. Got the FIA bands across the top of the windscreens, the windshield decals. That denotes the different classes. So if it's yellow, they're in Coppa Shell. If it's black, they're in Shell Am. FIA across the bridge as well. Towards the end of the lap, that's where everyone's standing watching. Oh, spin there, someone facing the wrong way out of turn 15.
Yeah, I thought I heard
Chuck
tire
Whittle.
noise. Yeah.
Chuck Whittle. So that's from Chuck Whittle's gone from P2 down, I reckon, P15, 16. What an absolute nightmare, Tony.
Yeah, probably ran the curb a bit too aggressively and spun to the inside. I heard on the headset that they were like spinning sound from the tires, and we could see that it was him.
Screeching in the background. A look up the inside here. That is number 151 is Evans having a look at Waltersdorf. No way through just there. You're looking at Waltersdorf with the 111 on the side of the car, so lots going on here. Let's have a look at the spin for Chuck Whittle. Camo colour car is Brad Evans, so Whittle is... That's just him facing the wrong way. So yeah,
I think he just ran too
much
wide.
curb.
Tried to request the steering wheel more to the left, and while the car was riding the curb, he just spun.
Mitchell Green out front here. I like the aggressive arm fold there as well. He looks kind of like he wants to get on with it, doesn't he? And he certainly is getting on with it here. Green is having a standout year so far.
And he came to the weekend very aggressive, wanting to show a super performance, and it bite him back a little bit. He had a contact with the wall earlier this week, and he had to go into a spare car, and I think we have a full course yellow.
Yeah, I wondered, they were showing the yellow and red, which is the slippery surface flag, but full course yellow, so somebody has gone off, or maybe the debris that Tony Blanda had spotted earlier on. Either way, they'll be on a go slow lap now, so not sure everybody is aware. I think it's Gary Ott there in P3, it is behind Bernier, so Gary Ott was so keen to get up towards the front end. Where did Ott qualify? Ott was P6. Boy, look at that. Wow.
Yeah, there's been a big contact.
So Patel has lost the hood of the car, and the contact has caused a hose to come off in there. Radiators up front?
Yeah, looked like a radiator.
jetting all the, hopefully only water, being jetted out from the car. You see all the teams are looking immediately and going, right, what is that? Do we need to get on the radio and tell them what's in turn X, Y, Z? Full course yellow. There goes the rescue vehicle up at the end of the straight by the Richard Mille sign. So maybe they're going to go and drag someone. I mean, if they may well, the team may well have told Danny to stop. If he's had, obviously he doesn't want to drive back with no water in the cooling system, that would be bad. So if that's the case, we may need to get that car recovered. So Mitchell Green leads, Jan Bernier is second, Gary Ott up 2 places, John Viscup up 4, Brian Walterstorff up 2, Brad Evans gone down 2, Orsini up 3, Lennon down 2, Lisa Clark holds position, then Carol Rose, Gaio, Chen and Naranjo. Chuck Whittle down 12 places, P2 he was. They're saying showing us P15. Where did he start? He started third, didn't he? Yeah, so 12 places down, was up in P2. Sirens, is that the safety car or is that something else locally?
No, maybe something local.
I think so. We don't need sirens on the safety car too. The lights are enough. I'd be up for it. I mean, I'm up for it if they want an upgrade on it. So lights are still on, which means it's likely to be another lap before we get these cars underway. All in all, though, I think I say a sensible, measured start.
Yeah, it looked like all the drivers had, I mean, most of the drivers had a really good approach for the race start itself, also getting up to the rhythm. Some of the drivers have raced in Las Vegas, so the track has some similar character. You know that if you get overexcited or try to do things too quickly, then it hits you back, hits you hard. So good approach for the race start. Now hopefully we get the safety car lights off and back to green.
I'm wondering if there is fluid out on the track, because those guys have gone out. Sometimes they put the concrete dust down on fluid. They've gone out there with the rescue vehicle, and that was where we saw the yellow and red flag, which is slippery surface ahead. The yellow's obviously a caution. Then you get double waved, or you can get full course yellow here in the States. So maybe there's something on track. Let's see if they run over in the background. So yeah, that may be what the issue is. We saw the car go out and it's parked up on the straight opposite that flag. Spurman's been given a 15-second penalty. So Spurman in P6 of Shell Am, I think, yeah, has been given a 15-second penalty. That's what those 3 red stripes mean. Or certainly it's what they meant in Sonoma. It was 5 seconds per red stripe. And that was for crossing the line early for Perina in Pirelli there. Absolutely massive entry. There were 31 cars on grid at the start of the race. Down, I think, to 30 now, with Danny Patel retiring from this one. Had a really fascinating chat with Danny earlier on. He is a surgeon, and his job is teaching other surgeons how to do procedures, as well, obviously, as himself. And he said that it had given a real insight into the relationship with his coach in the car. So he spends most of his time teaching what he is an expert at a high level. And now he come here and he said it's quite humbling to come and learn to drive in another series. And I love that. He said, I've understood things about my teaching and with working with my coach and going through the various different things. Same with Sebastian Mascaro. He was so excited about the idea of going quick. He was like, I don't feel like I'm very good. I was like, you're doing brilliantly. But in his head now, he wants to get up with the Trofeo Pirelli guys. And there's this wonderful ladder of opportunity where you come in as a total novice in Shell Am and can work your way right up to GT racing if you want to, all within the brand.
Yeah, but this is the story of our many lady or gentlemen drivers, so it's a different task that you are normally doing in your everyday life. So here is a completely different environment. You need to listen, learn from more professional drivers, and then the very rewarding part is when you really see that progress, when you are going faster, when you're qualifying better, when you do good race results. It gives a great satisfaction because you've done something that probably earlier in life you thought that I'm not going to be a race car driver, then you find yourself in the world of Ferrari and racing against other drivers, maybe starting with Club Challenge and then progressing to Ferrari Challenge. So there's great stories. Also the relationship, like you mentioned, between the driver and the driver coach, it comes very strong because you build the speed and the trust together, and once you start seeing those results, it's very rewarding. Now we can see there's some filler on the back straight between 15 turns, T15 and T17. So that's probably the area where we saw
the fluid coming
out. So something happened there, and it was the whole back straight basically.
So I understand why I mean, that would suggest that they thought it was a transmission fluid. Personally, I think it was water, but I mean, maybe the procedure is you put the dust down regardless and we dry it off. They've got the jet out there on the back, the jet dryer on the back of looks like on the back of I was going to say a golf buggy, but it might be one of those Gators. And they'll head down on potentially a sweeper as well, so they'll try and get it as clean as they can. It is offline, quite significantly offline. It's fairly early on the straight, so I don't think it's necessarily going to affect the overtaking opportunity down the end there.
Yeah, normally you don't go on that side of the racetrack. Even if you're looking for overtaking opportunity, you do it later. So it should not really damage our race. Hopefully the marshals are happy what they've done, and then we get back to racing.
Fingers crossed. Full course yellow still. If you see the lights go out on the safety car, then that will mean that we're about to go racing again. Fastest laps at the minute, Michael Owens in Shellam and Mitchell Green in Coppa Shell. 139.6 for Mitchell Green, 143.5 for Michael Owens. Bit of a difference in the differential of pace between the two categories here. Right, while these guys are on a bit of a go slow for a couple of laps where they get the straight cleaned up, Nina J. Paul doesn't spend all her time down on the straight toiling in the sun. Sometimes she gets to have quite a nice afternoon. Me and Tony Volanders are very upset about it. Have a look.
Round 3 of Ferrari Challenge North America brings us to the fabulous Miami. Here we are at the iconic Hard Rock Stadium racing on the Miami International Autodrome F1 circuit. Now, we couldn't bring you to Miami without giving you a little tour of behind the scenes, starting in Casa Ferrari, the biggest Ferrari hospitality on the calendar. There's so much to experience inside Casa Ferrari, and one of the standouts is the food. The finest Italian chefs have on offer beautifully Italian cured meats, a Parmesan station, Italian coffee, delicious wood-fired pizzas. It's all on offer. Now here in Casa Ferrari there is something for everyone. If shopping is your cup of tea, it's definitely mine, then the Ferrari Boutique is the place to be. Now, if pizza's not your thing and you want something a little bit more luxurious, Casa Ferrari has oysters, caviar and champagne. Once you've had your dose of exciting race action, fabulous food, stunning views and our wonderful DJ, then take a few steps to our beautiful wellness spa, where you can receive lovely massages, IV drips, hyperbaric oxygen chambers, and for the gentlemen, an Acqua di Parma shaving lounge. All a part of Ferrari's luxury services available in Casa Ferrari. And if you've got a sweet tooth like me, Casa Ferrari has you covered as well. Thank you. There's so many wonderful things to experience inside Casa Ferrari, but when you step out onto the terrace, this is what it's all about. The best views in the house.
Well, we do have aircon, but all of a sudden I really want an ice cream, Tony.
Yeah, Casa Ferrari is a good place to be.
It is indeed. Under the Faye Bridge. That is turn 19 as they return to the start finish. You can see that the back of the grid is round the corner. If you have a really big grid here, you'll need to react to the cars in front of you rather than the start lights sometimes if you can't see far enough around. Permanent building on the left, all the ones on the right, most of those are taken up and down, which is staggering, isn't it, the amount of work that goes into hosting a Formula 1 Grand Prix. But that is the size of the beast these days. Home race for Ferrari, of course, this weekend in Italy. No spoilers on qualifying, just in case you haven't watched it yet. So order at the moment, Mitchell Green from Jan Bernier, it's Gary Ott and John Viscup are your top 4 in the Coppa Shell. Then it's Gabe Ribb, Alberto Duran, Michael Owens and Jeffrey Nürnberger, your top 4 in Shellam. Melissa Herfield in 5th, Fabian Sperman is 6th, back as a 15-second penalty, which I assume is not added already, so I think they'll see him drop down the order. Matt Herfield's ahead of his wife Stephanie. I think she was ahead of him in the championship standings, so he's gone up a couple of places in that Gentleman's Cup. Gary Ott the leader at the minute, Lisa Clark the leader of the Ladies' Cup. Right, come on, let's get those lights out. Come on now, we're not going to use that side of the straight anyway, so we're happy to go again. I mean, me and Tony are not in charge of the safety car, so we have no say over that at all. But that's what we would do. Where is it? Are the lights out? Come on, let's see. No? Okay. I'm being told no by race control. Stay out of it, Coley. Well, frustrating for the drivers. Okay, lights are out on the safety car, so we're going to get things underway. The drivers, of course, all heading straight across onto the dirty side of the track. Which is not what I think I would be doing just before you're about to go racing. So they're all having a look to the front. Now they're starting to realise it's about to be the restart and they need to slot back into order, not grid order. Where are we going, people?
Yeah, this is disaster now.
Yeah, so I think everybody thought they needed to get back in side by side and they did not. They needed to be in a line.
File.
So they've driven over the dirty side of the track.
Yeah, look at the start. What's happening here?
Absolute carnage. So Mitchell Green's been swamped here at the start and has gone backwards. Green flag. Has Mitchell Green got a problem, or has everybody else broken the rules and gone around him? That's not gone well. Mitchell Green dives back up the inside in the background. Viscup, Ott, Watersdorf, Bernier was your order as they came over the line. Mitchell Green has dropped down into P6 here, behind Brad Evans as well, I think. Carnage. What on earth happened there?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the image got a little bit late, but it looked like green flag, and Mitchell Green just didn't accelerate. So,
but what? Do they not have to wait until the line to go?
This is. I mean, every championship has a bit particular rules. Normally, when I'm in the race car, I double check from my own team that what's going to happen in the procedure. How does it work? But if it's allowed that green means go, it means that
Mitchell Green got swamped. In which case, well, okay, we're hearing that's the regulation, is that it is green means go. So now Mitchell Green, the championship leader, is in P6, and he's got some work to do. Can he make some passes here? I'd like to see it. I'd like to see him have to make some. I mean, he was doing a brilliant job out front here, checked out big time. Now he's got to pass cars on track.
Yeah, but he needs to stay calm as well, because if he gets overexcited or let's say too angry behind the wheel, so he really needs to study those places where to overtake other cars. I think he has the pace, but he needs to be clever not to misjudge these braking points and areas.
Evans goes defensive look, and this is costing. He runs over the curbs aggressively, so he's got to stay calm, find a way through. He had great exit speed, didn't he, from the chicane up at the back at T13-14. He got right up behind him. Let's take a look at the restart. So look for the green flag if we see it. Here is Mitchell Green. Right, everybody else has just gone. So Mitchell.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of work to do for the stewards, race director, after the race to see penalties, no penalties. We would need to see at the time of the green flag what happened when everybody accelerated and Mitchell Green didn't. So,
do they have an indicator in the car as to the flag?
Normally when I do the start and I'm inside the race car, somebody calls me green, and I also, if I have a chance to see to the start and finish, if I can see the flag myself. But in multi-class racing, it might be Sebring. I'm in the last turn when the leaders are at the start and finish. So
Bernier just made a move on Waltersdorf in the background. Did he get through or not? Look in the background for Bernier. Yes, he did. So Bernier made a pass there, got himself up into P3. Nicely done. So Jan Bernier making moves. Meanwhile, out front, Gary Ott in the red and yellow coloured car is starting to put some pressure onto John Visca.
Yeah, and I think Mitchell Green, it has taken a full lap to get past Evans. So
he's back in there again. Is he going to have a crack at Evans this time? He's got to make this work in the background. So I don't know whether Mitchell Green's got through or not. Your leader, Viscup from Gary Ott.
He didn't.
Jan Bernier, he did not. Yes, wow. Okay, so second lap round, he hasn't made it through. He's lucky that out front they're not going now. He looks to the inside line. He's given a little bit of space. Maybe a bit. Evans gave him more space there than I thought he would. Good awareness from Brad Evans, but Mitchell Green now desperate to try and make his way through. He's all over the back of Evans, but Evans is not sufficiently slow enough for this to be an easy pass.
Yeah, he would need to be a little bit closer, because if you just dive in the last moment, there's a high risk of contact. So.
Oh no, spin in the background. That looks. I think that's Stephanie Herfield. So Stephanie Herfield with the fantastic Universe livery. There's definitely a rear wheel arch piece of aero there off one of the cars. Don't park it on the track. I'm sure she won't. Just manages to get away safely, so hopefully we'll be able to continue her race. That's a shame for Stephanie. We didn't see the start of that incident. She drops down the order. Let's have a look. We can see a replay of that in just a moment. So where is Herfield in the background? Is this an attempted pass? Going deep on the brakes. Oh, that's a shame for Stephanie. She'd made a great pass and just got collected from behind.
Yeah, they came 3 wide into turn 1, and just everybody wanted to outbrake each other and just brake too late and run in the back of another car.
Wow, okay, there we go. Okay, back straight. There you go. See again, Mitchell Green has a look up the inside. Has he managed to make it stick this time round? He's desperate. Third attempt to Evans. Oh, in the background, huge crash. Dropped it on the brakes. Into the wall, another one here. This is a big shunt at the end of the straight. That's a really big off at the end of the straight. That went early and hit the wall on the inside line. That's going to be a red flag, 100%. That's a real shame. So a big crash at the end of the straight. Drivers come round now over the start-finish line.
Yeah,
Full course yellow at least. So full course yellow, maybe not a red at this point. There it is, the aftermath of it. Into the Tech Pro barrier at the very end of the straight.
Yeah, I was monitoring the fight for the Shell-Am leaders, Jeffrey Nürnberg.
Mitchell Green did get past Brad Evans just quickly. Sorry to interrupt, Tony.
Yeah, and then we started having the moment. Going into 17, contact earlier around the braking zone, and then at least one of the cars couldn't slow down at all. Hit a concrete wall again, and then the barrier.
Speared off to the left, didn't it? We saw their left, our picture right. We saw the hood of the car come off, and we'll bring you an update on that as soon as we can. So Mitchell Green did manage to make the pass at the third attempt, I think, at the end of the straight. Viscup leads from Ott, Bernier, Waltersdorf and Mitchell Green with the fastest lap. So Green now showing us Viscup, he's up 7 places to the lead, which is an incredible performance. Okay, so this one's going to take a while to clear up, in my opinion. You've got 2 cars parked at the end of the straight. So there's debris on the track as well. The drivers need to be really careful here to avoid the carbon fibre. That can cut your tyres and get the car back round to the start-finish line. You can see the pack is clear. They've all realised what's going on, and those drivers who had incidents behind are now catching up with the rest of the pack. So there we are. Owens, the Canadian driver, leading Shell-Am. Jeffrey Nürnberg. Gabe Cribb has gone down 2 places and has the fastest lap. Duran has gone up 3. Matt Herfield has remained in position. Then Louis Fleury, Lynn. 7 places up for David Williams. That's a big old climb. Stephanie Herfield 11 places down. There's a bit of debris looking turn 1 as well. So started off really sensibly, and then just I think some frustrations from people probably at not making the progress they thought, and we haven't seen, and we won't look again at the crash until we know what's happened, obviously. So bear with.
Yeah, it was already a bit messy, the restart behind the safety car. Some drivers didn't go, some drivers accelerated. Some things to control there with the stewards and the race director, that everything went by the book. And then obviously, yeah, maybe drivers getting a little bit tired, maybe losing a little bit of grip, and then fighting for those positions. And we had the high-speed crash going into 17.
Yeah, we did. We really did. So tough times for the drivers, and they'll be cruising around. I say now there's 10 minutes left on the clock, but full course yellow, I say, still going to be some cleaning up to do. What do you do in this situation, Tony? I guess particularly for these drivers, their coaches will be on the radio and just saying, okay, stay calm, we'll bring you an update, we're watching. They'll be looking at any pictures they can get, which, to be fair, is likely to be our pictures, so they'll see an update once a lap on the condition of the track.
Yeah, the main thing is now to stay calm, not to do anything stupid behind safety car, running to another driver, get a DNF because something happened behind safety car. So just maintain your place, maintain the distance, and then wait for the decisions, what's going to happen with the race. We've done 2/3 of the race distance. There's for sure something related for the rules as well. Track condition in general is a little bit on the limit with the debris, the amount of carbon fiber, turn 1, turn 17, maybe even the Tech Pro barrier, maybe even the concrete wall. So I think there is some maintenance to be done on the track. So let's see what the stewards and the race director decide. But we are a little bit on the limit probably to get restarted.
I think so too. I mean, we did in Daytona, if you remember, red flag, go back into pit lane and then go again. They'll be keen as well to get the Cliente sessions out later on today. So lots to bear in mind when we've got such a packed weekend. If you haven't joined us earlier on, you can go back and see the opening ceremony for the Trofeo Pirelli race. We had the Miami Dolphins cheerleaders, we had the drummer band as well, we had a helicopter flyby. It was very impressive, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great opening for today. A lot of great racing also until today. We had some drama in Pirelli where Dylan Medler and Massimo Perina had the contact going into turn 1. The Shell and the Shell Am race started really well. We got some action, especially after the safety car. And now the final accident going into 17 was a big one. We just saw the end result of it. We just didn't see how everything started, but it was a high-speed accident.
Yeah, it was. So he speared off to the left-hand side, and then unfortunately it didn't seem like there was much retardation of the speed after that initial contact with the wall on the left. So, there we are. We did say these are very fast race cars, and obviously that is the end of the straight as well. Luckily, of course, this is a Formula 1 circuit, so in terms of the safety, it's absolutely the best it could possibly be. Multiple layers of Tech Pro barriers at the end of the straight, which are designed to take away the impact, and the same with the 296 Challenge car. It's a proper piece of kit. This is a proper race car. So there we are, 7 minutes remaining on the clock under a full course yellow. I think they'll run them round another couple of times. So we'll see what they do. All the while the lights remain on that safety car, and I'm afraid the long shot down the straight tells me there's still a lot going on down in the zone where the incident was. Look at this place, what a venue, it's just incredible. The scale of it is just unbelievable. And the packing up after an event, I mean, the people who put together these plans of taking up and down these buildings, getting them on trucks and moving them around, it blows my mind. Okay, that is fantastic news. Driver is out of the car, and that's the one which went in really hard at the end of the straight. That's Stephanie Herfield. She had the incident, turn 1 was it, where she was collected from behind, unfortunately, and ended up being spun around. That's a big relief to me, Tony. That was high speed. Red flag. So the red flag is out, and we'll have to see. I think with 5 minutes left, I think they'll call it, but we'll see. Race control will let us know. Okay, we're just getting a few updates from race control on what's going out there on out there on the track. So, big incident at the end of the straight. If you're only just joining us, we had 2 cars off, one to the left, one to the right. We didn't see the start of the incident, so we're not quite sure. We might be able to take a look at the replay once we know the drivers are out of their cars, but we always wait to check that the drivers are okay before we take a look back at an incident, as I'm sure you can understand. With a red flag, I was going to call the result, but we can't do that until we hear from race control about what's going to happen, whether this is going to get restarted or not. Huge field of drivers coming through. Well, we knew there would be lessons to be learned here. We've had incidents in both races. We did see that in Daytona as well. I think they get a lot of testing, but there's such a big difference between being out on track on your own and you don't need to pass. You might catch somebody slower, but you don't need to pass them. You can wait. You can let them go. You can have another lap. You're constantly training on your own, and then we go racing.
Yeah, I mean, practicing on your own is one thing, then racing is another. You have the competitiveness, you want to overtake another driver. Often drivers are the ones that put the most pressure on themselves. And then maybe you lack sometimes a little bit of judgment, or either in under braking, judging the speed, or where to give space and not to give space. And then sometimes these things happen, yeah.
Officials running down to the safety car. That might well, yeah, it's about where to send the cars. Okay, they're sending them back to the paddock. Checkered flag is showing on the timing screen, and I thought that was going to be the case. The fact that they're sending the cars back to the paddock rather than to the pit lane. So John Visca takes the win. Where was he on the grid? He was P7 on the grid. No, P8. P8 on the grid. So John Visca from P8 on the grid takes the win from Gary Ott and Jan Bernier. Waltersdorf is 4th. Mitchell Green, the championship leader, who's had such an amazing run of results, 2 wins and 2 seconds, ends up here down in 5th. But that's still to play out as well. What happened at that restart? Did he miss the call? Did the others go early? We didn't see the green flag, so we can't tell you that. But the stewards, I'm sure, are going to be busy for the rest of the afternoon. Okay, they're still pausing them, but we're seeing checkered flag on our timing screen. It flicked back to red flag for a moment. Now it's saying red flag again. What are we doing, race control? So seeming a checkered flag again. We're getting both. We're getting both here in the commentary box. So we're doing our best. We can only work with what we got. We can't see the flag ourselves. It's a virtual flag anyway. There you go. You can see the Hard Rock Stadium. Most importantly of all, to say the driver in the car at the end of the straight is out, and we're waiting on updates to make sure that everybody is okay. As it stands, if it was checkered flag, Michael Owens would win Shell-Am from Jeffrey Nunberg and Gabe Hrib. And that would be your results of the two.
Yeah,
classes.
There's also one thing to control. I mean, a couple of things to check is obviously the main restart, where Mitchell Green lost the lead, others went by him. Who accelerated and who didn't, where was the green flag. The other thing is when the big accident happened, Jeffrey Nunberg was leading the Shell-Am, and he was leading almost all the way to the start and finish, and just before it was a crossing point with the yellow flag and full course yellow. So where and when did Owens overtake Nunberg?
Interesting.
So that
Good
was really
shout.
close, because 1-4-1 Jeffrey Nunberg was leading until the accident, and he was one of the cars who got there at the time of the accident. So either he lifted off more and then he lost the lead, or something related to the full course yellow safety car procedure. But I think there is a lot of studying, a lot of videos, a lot of work to do for our marshals, race director, stewards, and at least tomorrow we can give you all the update and the final outcome of today's race, I think.
Yeah, we can. You saw just a moment ago Chuck Whittle, who had a spin from P2 and ended up a long way down, actually fought back to P17. I think was lower than that at one point. Shame for Chuck, because was flying, absolutely flying. So John Viscup climbs from the car. Got to unplug. That's the drink. Yes, okay. So Viscup's really pleased. I totally understand that. John Viscup came from P8 on the grid, thanks to the grid being formed from championship standings after an incident earlier on today in qualifying. Earplugs out after unplugging all the rest of the drink systems and everything else. John Viscup then takes the win from Gary Ott and Jan Bernier. Then it's Waltersdorf, Green, Evans, Orsini, Lennon, Gaio and Cheney, your top 10. Carroll, Owens, Nürnberg, Naranjo, Hrib, Duran, Whittle, Herfield, Louis, Flory down to P19. And then the rest of the field behind. Owens, as you saw just on the previous page, currently showing as the winner ahead of Jeffrey Nürnberg and Gabe Hrib. So that would be your top 3. So Nina Jade is with the winner of Coppa Shell, John Viscup.
John, congratulations. Victory at Miami. How does that feel?
Yeah. Feels great. It was awesome. A lot of hard work this week, and it was funny. I was kind of down because we didn't get to qualify this morning, and I got to start on points, so I started back pretty far. But stayed with it and listened to the coach and stuck to my marks in line, and here we are. So fantastic. I mean, it's been a great week, and so fortunate to be here.
You said you started back really far. You made up 7 places, John, and there's not even an ounce of sweat on you. You were being chased down by Gary Ott as well. How does it feel when you come under pressure like that?
Yeah, it's he is aggressive. He's there. He's so fast and so good, and you just got to stay focused. And we had a game plan, and we executed. So just thankful. It's amazing. You know, what a place.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very happy indeed. Thumbs up and a big smile. Came back from a long way down on the grid to say thanks to the championship standings being the way they did the grid. Mitchell Green leads from Jan Bernier, Chuck Whittle, Brad Evans, Jared Belichick, Gary Ott, John Lennon and Bruce Cleveland. Rest of the points further down there for Coppa Shell. There we are. That is Parc Ferme in the centre of the Miami Tower. Look at that! Look at that! You heard that at home, I'm sure. That's brilliant, isn't it? That's 2 mates enjoying racing Ferraris and yeah, comparing bravery. That's the word, isn't it? I think, Tony, for bravery.
Yeah, somebody made some big decisions today in the race. So.
Yeah.
Great action. We were saying that Miami will provide great racing, and we had some action in Pirelli, Pirelli Am, Shell and Shell Am. So both races were quite interesting.
Thumbs up to P1. Still manoeuvring a few cars in. I imagine they've had trouble getting some of those back from the circuit. Okay, Nina Jade has got Michael Owens.
Congratulations, first ever win. How does that feel?
Amazing, amazing. So hard to keep the adrenaline down when the red flag or the yellow flag comes out. But awesome race, super great competition from the 2 guys I was battling with. All 3 cars were like bumper to bumper throughout the whole time on the track. So it makes it an outstanding win for me, my first ever one. So it's gonna be hard to sleep tonight. I'm flying high.
Your first ever win. How do you stay composed in amongst all the chaos, the crashes, the red flags, the yellow flags?
You know what? Coach talk. Coach talk is fantastic, right? Keep calm. Keeps you the situational awareness high of what's going on, where on the track, what's coming up, and lets you really be like strategic in how you think, and like then let the the aggression go and the adrenaline flow when you have a chance to grab a position or two. And then coming into the stadium here through the arches, blew my mind. Literally blew my mind. I was pounding the roof of my car. I was so excited, like a little kid. So excited. It was awesome.
It's mega. Congratulations. Celebrate tonight.
Thank you. We definitely will.
Woo! Sorry, Amanda, I lost audio there.
Yeah, what a great emotion. Here we see also Paolo Ruperti, his coach. They had good pace already in Daytona, and this race win is a demonstration of the great work together they've done. And you can see the excitement, how the race went, and yeah, these are Ferrari Challenge emotions. These are Ferrari Challenge experiences, and this is what we live for. This is what we race for. Great to see.
So final cars coming into Parc Ferme, just getting things organised for the podium ceremony here at the Hard Rock Stadium, right in the heart of Miami International Autodrome, the Formula One circuit. Host, I say, this weekend to the third weekend of Ferrari Challenge North America, as well, of course, as a Ferrari Races weekend. Tony, a bit of carnage in the racing, which we don't like to see. We like to see great racing, but still, people really pleased with some results and some unexpected results thanks to that carnage. The championship lead changing in Trofeo Pirelli, we think. We'll get some updated points on that for you tomorrow after contact between the main two protagonists. It's shaping up to be a great rest of the season. Of course, we're going to do all this again tomorrow as well.
Yeah, in Pirelli, the lead for the, let's say, for our pro drivers, the fastest drivers, so it's very high level. We have great quality of drivers in Pirelli. Pirelli Am, similar situation. In Shell as well, where we see drivers that are really starting to go fast. Mitchell Green is one of the drivers in Shell that has great performance. Today he didn't have a great restart. He was already leading by several seconds. Then it got neutralized by the safety car, and he wasn't fully focused with the green flag. So I think he learned his lesson, and from here on, Mitchell Green is even stronger racer. Yes, some optimistic maneuvers also on track, and I think drivers need to learn continuously how to respect, how to race hard, and not to crash into each other. But overall, I think we have many happy drivers in Parc Ferme and also with the pit crews.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you say, what an amazing weekend as well. We're only halfway through. We've got all the various different Corsa Cliente people here too. F1 Cliente, Sport Prototipi Cliente as well in the 499p Modificata. The XX program, people have been getting in many laps. Some of these drivers as well have been out in their challenge cars and then out in something else, which blows my mind, because I was talking to one of the guys earlier who drives his GT3 here as well, and he was saying the braking points are completely different. I was like, what if you do the wrong braking point in the challenge car?
Yeah, that's true. It's not even an easy thing for a professional driver. I've done it a few times when we had an IMSA and WEC clash, or let's say super weekend. We were racing together, for example, at Sebring, and it wasn't easy at all, going from ABS GT3 car into a GTLM car and different concept of cars. So it wasn't easy at all. You need to be aware what you're doing. It takes always a few laps, and it's always more difficult to go back to a car that has less cornering speed. It's always a bit easier to go where you have more grip, more performance from the race car in the corner. So it takes focus, but also for these drivers, it's just joy to be on this very special track. There's a Formula One who was here just a couple of weeks ago. Miami has a special vibe, so we can see great crowds here, a lot of people, a lot of friends in Casa Ferrari. So this is just a special weekend.
Certainly is. Not often you have an NFL football stadium full of Ferraris. Huge stars and stripes down there from one of the teams as well. Everybody's starting to gather. The photographers are in front of the podium. We've even taken in a few sofas, looking a bit of grass for everyone, just to make sure that it's nice and comfortable. It is boiling hot, so hence the umbrellas. They will be very glad of the shade which is provided as we come towards the end of the day here in Miami. It is 5:45 p.m. local time. Kids running about down there too, a proper family affair with so many people today in Casa Ferrari. I think it was something in the region of 800 guests. It's an enormous undertaking. Thank you very much to everybody in Casa Ferrari who works so hard to make sure that the guests are having a good time. They work so hard, they really do. So thank you to all of you up in Casa Ferrari. Podium looks incredible, doesn't it? That bright backlit podium, waiting for our drivers to come up and get ready to accept their trophies. I reckon getting drivers together, Tony, is a bit like herding cats.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the feeling after the race, you're not really hurrying up to get to the podium, so getting everybody together, all our race winners, all our podium drivers, takes a little bit of time.
It does indeed. But we will get there, and we'll get them up on that stage. The big Dolphins flag, look at that as well. Go Panthers!
Tomorrow night.
Yeah. So we should explain, actually, Tony, you're Finnish, but you support the Panthers because you used to spend a lot of time out here when you were racing in the States.
Yeah, that's true. Florida was like, let's say, second or third home.
Yeah.
And yeah, my second sport is ice hockey, so I really always follow NHL, especially when I'm in US. And Panthers little bit came like my home team. There is many Finnish players. Alexander Parkov is the captain of the team. He organized a few times the tickets for me, and I think a few years back I went like see 3 or 4 games in a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic.
It's something that I really like and yeah.
Yeah, I say I loved it. It was a brilliant atmosphere. It's America is exceptional at putting on a sporting spectacle and building these incredible stadiums too. Hard Rock Stadium that you're looking at right now is the home, I say, of the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins cheerleaders are down there by the podium as well. They put on an amazing show just before the start of the racing earlier on. Proper choreography, hard work, I know. Athletes just like the football players are. So much champagne just waiting to be wasted. Come on now. Let's get going. Let's get going. So do stay with us if you would like to see the podium celebrations. The delay is due to obviously the incidents that happened at the end of the race. The stewards are checking through a few results. We're trying to get everything confirmed before we get the drivers up onto the podium. So it's just a short delay. If you're watching at home and you'd like to see one of your favourite drivers up on the podium, we will be back with you shortly. So do please stick around. If you're not sticking around for the podiums, we're back on again tomorrow, and it's a pretty similar schedule to today. Qualifying in the morning is at around 8:35, looking at my schedule, so I think we'll be on air just shortly before that. And then coming through to the racing, we have got, when are we racing? Looks like 2:25 and 3:55, but that will be the recon laps, so make sure you join us just before that, basically, if you want to see the racing tomorrow. Okay, I think we're actually about ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podium presentation for the third round of Ferrari Challenge North America from Miami International Autodrome. We're delighted to have you all here with us today. We're ready to get started and bring out our first winners of the day. Let's begin with the presentation for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli class. Please welcome in third place, Roberto Perina. In second place, we have Johnny Kaminsky. And in first place, your winner today's second win of the season, Manny Franco. Please, let's remove our caps for the winner's national anthem. And now, please, can you give a warm welcome to Antonello Coletta, Head of Endurance and Corsa Clienti, to present the trophies to our winners. We also invite Lucio Vigiani from Pirelli Motorsport, our partners, to present the Pirelli Award to our winner, Manny Franco. Please welcome a representative from Ferrari Lake Forest to accept the Trofeo Pirelli Team Award, once again presented by Antonello Coletta, Head of Endurance and Corsa Clienti. Congratulations to everybody today. Please show your trophies for the photos. And now it's time for the champagne. Oh, Franco with the fastest reaction time on the champagne. Kaminsky coming back at him though. Manny Franco with his second win of the season. Manny Franco throws his cap into the crowd. Brilliant performance, win number 2 this year. Okay, please give a warm welcome on to the stage, Dylan Medler. And we'd also like to invite Antonella Coletta, Head of Endurance and Corsa Cliente, to present the Fastest Lap of the Day award from our partners at Richard Mille. Dylan Medler, 1:35.717. Congratulations, Dylan. Next up, we will invite the winners for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli AM class. In P3, please welcome Benoit Bergeron. In second place, Sebastian Mascaro. Great recovery drive by Seb after contact in turn 1. And in P1, our winner today, Ophir Levy. First ever win for Ophir Levy, P1 up into the air. Please remove your hats for the winners' national anthem. Now to present the trophies to our winners, please welcome Tyler Epp, President of Miami International Autodrome. We also invite Lucio Vagani, Pirelli Motorsport Manager from our partners at Pirelli, to present the Pirelli Award to our winner, Ophir Levy. Please welcome a representative from Ferrari of Silicon Valley to accept the Trofeo Pirelli AM Team Award, once again presented by Tyler Epp, President of Miami International Autodrome. Congratulations, everybody. Hold those trophies high. And then let's see who wins the race for the champagne. Oh, styling it out off Ophir Levy. That's the move. Bang the bottle down, get the spray on the go. Congratulations on the win. Next up, we will invite the winners of the 296 Ferrari Challenge Coppa Shell. In third place, Jan Bernier. In P2, we have Gary Ott. And in first place today, your winner, John Viscup. John absolutely stoked with that result, welcomed onto the stage by the Miami Dolphins cheerleaders. Let's also please welcome our Ladies' Cup winner, Lisa Clark. And also on stage already, our Gentleman's Cup winner, of course, Gary Ott. Please remove your hats for the winner's national anthem. To present the trophies to our winners, please welcome to the stage Jeff Scipione, FIA Chief Commercial Officer. And Jeff will also present the awards for our Ladies and Gents Cup. Chariot in P2, the Gents Cup winner, Lisa Clark, not on the stage with us this afternoon. Please welcome a representative from Boardwalk Ferrari to accept the Coppa Shell Team Award, once again presented by Jeff Scipione, FIA Chief Commercial Officer. Up on the top step. Congratulations, please present your trophies for the photos. And then drivers, you know what to do. Time for the champagne. Finally then, the presentation for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Coppa Shell Am winners. In third place, please welcome Gabe Harib. In second place, it's Jeffrey Nunberg. And your winner today, give a big welcome to Michael Owens. Let's also please welcome our Ladies' Cup winner, Melissa Kozira. And our Gentlemen's Cup winner, Lance Corley. Please now remove your caps for the winners' national anthem. Please welcome to the stage Andrea Maldovic, Global Head Ferrari Challenge Corsa Pilota, to present the trophies to our winners. And also the trophies for our Ladies and Gents Cup. And lastly, please welcome a representative from Ferrari of Alberta to accept the Coppa Shell Am Team Award. Once again presented by Andrea Maldovic, Global Head Ferrari Challenge Corsa Pilota. Okay, hold those trophies high, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations on your results today. It's the final podium, so you better make that champagne good. Champagne! Congratulations to all our drivers in the Hard Rock Stadium. Brilliant performances today. We will be back tomorrow. If you're watching online, you'll be able to join us for qualifying in the morning and then the Trofeo Pirelli and Coppa Shell races later on in the day. We'll see you then.